is. It's unlike any other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Underneath for Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
They go play action here on first down. And incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and now it's 2nd down. Time for a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City. Coming into this one, ranked number 19 in the NFL against the pass.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into them and try and knock it loose.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And this one caught by Hunter over the middle. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. Johnson on the counter. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. The numbers a week ago for Johnson. 18 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hunter. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. And that's going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again. Stafford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
The losing streak had taken on a life of its own, and I think it infiltrates a team when you're on that much of a slide. But this group has managed to focus, come out early, and put a touchdown on the board. They look like they mean business in this one.
They do. Now the key, holding on to that attitude, because, man, that streak has been a struggle for them. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. As we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
Well, his ratio was good last week. Most quarterbacks are really excited about a 3-to-1 ratio, but it's flipped in the wrong direction. He threw 3 interceptions, not touchdown passes, and he only had the 1 TD pass in that game. So he's trying to turn that around and find a way for his team to win.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 13 carries, 68 yards.
And, partner, I thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the offensive line. We saw how they blocked it up last week to pretty good success, and we see what their game plan is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Wilson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On second down, Kamara. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
Rosen will throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving.
Green 39!
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 3, second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They're on the march, but facing a third down here.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's Rosen. This is caught. Watkins. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
On first down, it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Newton. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. To throw is Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And oh, he coughed it up. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
No, Jack, Patriot!
Rosen off the play action. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Johnson. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Second and 10, Stafford again. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. He completes it to Hunter. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Two minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. And movement by One of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
On second down, here's Stafford. Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second down. Stafford on the crossing route, complete. It's Newton. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. David Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year, and the Broncos are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Now McManus for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. Charles, it's the second quarter. Your team's losing. You're not playing well as the quarterback, but like I said, it's the second quarter, so how worried right now are you?
You're concerned, but you're not panicked because you know there's still an opportunity. No one's excited about his stat line right now. 1 touchdown pass, okay, that's cool, but he's throwing an interception as well. Can he eliminate the mistakes and keep making the positive plays, the good plays? That's what they're looking for from him.
Time to find out if he can do just that.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Chiefs on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Rosen to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Swanson. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays, back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. First down now, but that clock rolling. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. From midfield now, here's Rosen. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Lutz missed it to the right. No good. And this score will stay right where it is.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. The final shot before the break, Stafford. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And that'll bring up 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. A final shot before break. Stafford, it's caught. Humphries. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for the former MVP, Matt Ryan. From there, let's head up to Cincinnati to check in on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting New England Patriots. 21-0, the final score. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Jay Ajayi, well over 100 yards on the ground with 3 touchdown runs. In the game you're watching, it's Matthew Stafford who's had it working in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Again, it's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Rosen, and he fires one, but incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. And they'll indeed go for it with Rosen. Throw left side complete. That's Swanson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. A give. This is Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Here we go. 3-19.
Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. And the tackle there will go to Ryan Anderson. On 3rd down, Rosen. They're able to locate Wilson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped it to 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you.
And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good, and we are tied at 14. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Marquette King now as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Josh Rosen and company getting set for their next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
the bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. To throw is Rosen. And Wilson has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
I'm still an old-school football guy, and anytime you see a big-time running play, that fires me up. And if I'm on offense right now, in the position they're in now, inside the 10-yard line, I think after the way they've run it, they've set themselves up for a good play-action pass opportunity right here.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Welcome back now to Denver. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. And just one man in the backfield here. That's Kamara, 2nd and goal. Play action here with Rosen. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And now it's Rosen looking. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Denver. In a tie game, 4th quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 21-14. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
Now Rosen. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know? The mental focus of the whole
that's
thing.
true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. Over the middle, complete. That's Newton. The 30. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Again, it's Johnson. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. David Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, and the Broncos will add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit, being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
McManus now for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now up to 14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. So at the start of this game, it looked like the defense was wearing him down a little bit. Now you look at the numbers, that's kind of flipped.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And his offensive line has really started to play well. And the best offensive line coaches that I've ever talked to, when they have great runners, you know what they tell their guys? Relax. You don't have to be perfect. Get as many guys as you can. But if you leave one free, the great runner will either make him miss or go through him. So don't worry about that. You don't have to be so precise. Just go ahead, block some people, try and create some room, and allow him to go to work. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On second down, here's Rosen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Swanson. 30. Past the 20. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 55 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Another shot from the 9 on second and goal.
Patriot! All right, now, look at 56.
Here's Rosen. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chiefs are able to get this back within a touchdown. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football, and I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Back to throw, Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They go to Johnson again, and he'll get this down only to about the 46. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Drill right, 22.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Marquette King now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Trailing here in the 2nd half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
They'll run it with Johnson. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach, he's in big trouble.
Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. They go down to a knee and a sigh of relief as they are into the win column for the first time this year. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Denver, it'll be a much happier locker room here as they get that first win after 5 straight losses to start the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Chicago Bears next week. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.